I'm judging all the way. Everyone record now. Everyone record now. You don't have to. Everybody's recording. Tag him. No, all that. Alright, here we go. You ready?
I'm the creator of TENPINZ. I run Namiwear, and this is we're gonna go ahead and go down the line of introductions. This is my author, Abraham. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? It's Abraham Salmaka Kuzner. Online, I'm African legend, writer of TENPINZ, and Namiwear is my favorite brand, so this is real lucky for me. It's pretty dope. But I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I'm gonna pass the mic to Blizzy Boy.
Sure. My name is Taj Blizzy Boy Fortune. I do the theme song and the outro for TENPINZ.
Hey, how you doing?
You're the voice, thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and start this off right and play you guys the introduction to TENPINZ by Blizzy Boy.
It's gonna be stuck in your head for like a month.
The official theme song for TENPINZ. It will be an animated version by Blizzy Boy. Also check out his other music. He has more music. New album Star just came out.
Star 64.
Star 64 on all platforms. Check it out.
Is it working this time?
How do you want to sleep at midnight singing it for whatever reason?
Thank you very much.
We want to get into a little bit about TENPINZ, why I decided to do a manga about bowling, and I realized I have a mask on. Why I wanted to do a manga about bowling and what it means to me to be able to incorporate like our culture and pop culture into bowling as well as anime. I started off always loving anime, and really early in my childhood, I decided to join a bowling league. I was like 11 years old. I joined a bowling league with one of my friends. We were just kids, we didn't know what we were doing. I joined a team of literally all first-time bowlers, and we all didn't know what we were doing, but we got really good. I ended up doing a lot of state championship like tournaments, like sponsored tournaments. I think Pepsi was one of the sponsors. I didn't know I was like good. Even when I was doing it, I didn't know I was good. But this would be like my life if I continued bowling. So this is kind of the story of TENPINZ. I also just really wanted to do a sports manga. I love Kuruko no Basket. I love how everyone is here for Haikyuu and Slam Dunk and all these other like big sports projects are popping off. So I wanted to do and something that I kind of related to and have like real life experience in. So that's why I did TENPINZ as a manga, bowling manga.
All right.
And TENPINZ, for me, I don't know, I think sports, manga, and anime is one of the best genres out there, because you get to like express the anger and frustration and everything that people feel in sports through like symbolism and lots of other cool things that you don't normally get to see. Because like, you know, if you're watching a basketball game, it's just a basketball game. You don't get to see, you know, LeBron go into the zone. You don't see lightning bolts fly from his eyes and all that go on. So I mean, I think the strength that sports manga and anime has is that it lets you make it cooler, I guess, and like all those feelings that people feel in their everyday life on the field or on the court or on the lanes, man, they feel that way more, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to get a snapshot of that and really get to expand on a universe that Dom got to live and add a cool layer of mysticism to it.
Alright, so we're gonna kind of go into a little bit of the characters here. Our main character is Adrian Fisher. He has a hidden technique, the crane technique, which is water-based. So TENPINZ is kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender meets bowling. Every stance has an element. Every element has an animal spirit that's attached. For Adrian, his is the crane and water, which is like a lost technique, a lost stance in this universe. So he's kind of like on the front of the revival of that style. So here you see Adrian kind of like throwing with the tsunami right here. Kai Frost is his best friend. This is also based on Taj. Right here, he's in the manga. So Adrian is based on me. Dope. Kai is based on Taj, and
He's an ice bowler.
he's got an ice element. He's like one of the few that has that. We have another water bowler on the team, Nalani. So bringing like a lot of different character looks, a lot of different like representation in this. Here we have Jace. Jace is like our bad guy. Like him and Adrian fell out. Bruh switched up on him. Got popular. He comes from a rich family. He kind of switched up on him or whatever. So.
And he's the like, you know how there's a rival character that you like? He's the rival character that you don't like.
He's like Sasuke, but if nobody likes Sasuke. He's like how people treat Sakura. Oh,
Sasuke was shitty. Oh, so Sarada. We nailed it, right? Like Sarada.
Yeah. Mix them together. Yeah, this one's problematic. This one sucks.
We can share this one.
Hold it.
Alright, so Jace, he has the spider as his animal stance, and the spider is like a dark aura. So you see behind him is kind of like the legs, like the legs of the aura. These are their jerseys. But he's teamed up with all the bad kids, basically, all the bad kids in the neighborhood. We've got Madison O'Malley.
She's the leader of the spiders, and she loves making trouble. Like, if it will cause despair around her, she's gonna do it.
We've got Ariana. Did we make these two sisters?
They're sisters.
Yeah,
they're sisters.
The sisters, like the Gross sisters, but bowling.
And not light blue.
We have Dre Hawkins of the Win team. He is, I don't think he's the captain. He's like second.
He's the captain.
Is he? Is Dre
Yeah, Dre's the captain.
All right,
He's all about them mantras and keeping a cool or a chill mind.
This is like we're Zen and out, going light the incense group right here.
Lose yourself in the meditation, astral projection.
Type of group.
Trippy.
We've got Wendy Hawkins. Wendy, like just a play on the wind element. Their animal is, I think they
The Eagles, yeah. You know, Wendy, like it's windy, but Wendy.
And Hawkins.
On the nose.
Wasim is also part of the wing team. He's like, he's pretty cool.
He's the airhead. Out of them.
He's like, yeah.
He's the airhead. He's like better at it than them, but not because he knows what he's doing.
Now we're gonna get to the team that everybody keeps asking me about because I post pictures of these guys a lot. This is the Firefox team. Nina Brand Oliver. This is my character based on Meg Thee Stallion. I would love if Meg was in this project so bad.
Set your heart on fire for Nina Brand Oliver.
So Nina is like super popular. She has a freaking like entourage of people that follows her around with signs, like following.
She got a fan club. Like they pull up, and when Lambo draws to the eyes of those people, they're like vibrating out of their face.
Yeah, everybody is like going crazy for Nina. Like everybody goes crazy for Meg. So I really wanted to capture that. This is Solana Brand. She is their cousin, but she's on their team. Another like fire bowler, real aggressive, kind of like, you know, kind of tomboyish, but
She gets in trouble for cussing on the lanes a lot.
she could have been on the Spider team, but she's not like that bad. And then we have Ember Brand. She's like the little sister. She's the youngest in the league.
12 years old, right?
Yeah. We said 12 years old for her. Youngest in the league. Just out here killing them.
Most potential.
We have the Lightning team, Cobra Strikers. This is Buzz Barrett. Buzz is actually based on King Vader. When this gets animated, which it will eventually, because we're in talks, we're doing animated series for TENPINZ right now, with some major studios. King Vader will be the voice of Buzz Barrett.
Keep your eyes on.
This is a weird looking picture. My boy got spiky hair in this picture. Just ignore that. That's not what we're doing. We got him hooked up.
We fixed it in the manga.
Casey Storm, also another character that I based on somebody in real life.
Jax Cottrell.
Jax does voice acting work. They do, what else do they do?
They write,
like
they make content,
everything.
they got OnlyFans,
Acting, everything. The first, I believe this is one of the first non-binary characters of color in a manga.
I've never seen it.
And we're really trying to make sure we keep the representation accurate and really bring people from real life into this world. So
Casey is they, them also. So if you want to refer to Casey's they, them.
Casey, yes. Casey, and then we got my boy right here. You can go ahead and introduce
yourself. All right, so Ibu Sama is a character based off of me when I was like 16. You see the hair, you see the braces. And actually, we've got Cedric L Williams lined up to play him.
Cedric is currently the voice of Face on Nick Jr.
Yes,
He's done
Chi-Chu on Hunter x Hunter.
Promise Neverland. He was Don. So we've got some real like. Oh, I completely skipped it. Jace in the Spider team is going to be going to Zeno Robinson.
Yeah, Zeno's playing.
Really happy to have him a part of this project. Francine, we're entering the Earth Bowlers, the Bear Bowlers. Here we go. Francine is going to be voiced by Daenerys from Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mirko from
My Hero.
So we're together.
Her character design is based on.
Character design is based on Fantastic Frankie. So I'm really trying to pull in a lot of people from our community and give them a spotlight in this and really like elevate everything that we're doing. So
This the FUBU of black anime.
Dustin, I don't really know much about Dustin. He's just a dude on a team right now.
We're still getting there with Dustin.
Some of these guys are just dudes on the team.
They haven't really made an appearance yet.
Brian Boulder, he's just a dude on the team. But we go. We are here at Belmo. Belmo is based on Jason Belmonte, the real-life best bowler in the world.
Oh.
I don't know how many championships, like 16.
No, dude, didn't he have like 23 pro bowling awards? But then while I was writing it, he got more, so I had to actually update it as I was writing it.
So
like within a month period of me working on that, I had to update the number 3 times because he just kept winning.
Yeah, he went on tour just now and won like 6 like championships.
And didn't you say he bowled a perfect game on that tour too, like on TV and
Another
everything?
perfect game on TV, like the 3rd televised perfect game ever in the sport.
Yeah.
He's changed the sport completely. He's from Australia, and when he was younger, his parents decided to open up a bowling alley.
They didn't like bowling, they didn't know nothing about it, they just said, let's make some money.
So he started bowling at a really young age, and because he couldn't lift the ball, he would roll it with 2 hands, which developed his style. And he got so good in Australia. By the time he was like 10, he was like, I had to go to China to play like the best people in China. By the time I was 14, there was nobody in China that could beat me. By the time I was 20, I had to come to the US so I could try to beat the best people here.
And then everyone here told him he was cheating, even though there's no rule against using 2 hands.
Told him he was cheating.
Really?
He's the Kobe Bryant of bowling. he's the LeBron James of bowling, the Steph Curry of bowling, basically. He changed the game to the point where everybody's trying to bowl like him now. They bowl with 2 hands.
The 2-handed style is the way now.
He's a mentor to the kids. He's like the avatar of our world. He knows all the styles. What we call the professionals in this world are dragons.
If you bowl a perfect game, you're a dragon. And he's a dragon in a bunch of different styles.
So he's a real like mentor in the book, and he's a part of the series as well. We wanted to have him out, but
He had to make it home, see his kids.
Literally just flew back home to Australia, but maybe next year if we do this again.
And when I write Belmo, I kind of channel like that Wizard King energy, where he's just like super into every single kind of bowling. He's like, oh, show me what you got with the fire. Oh my God, what's that earth over there? Oh my, like just ADHD, and like I love it.
Love it.
Barry Brooks, he's kind of like the old man, the mysterious old man in the bowling alley. Like, what is this man doing over here in the corner? Kind of energy. We see him in the first like chapter of TENPINZ.
He's in like the first 10 pages.
Yeah, he's in the first 10 pages, and he's bowling water style, which is like something that nobody does anymore. And Adrian sees that, and he's like, what? Like, what's bro doing over here? And we really want Samuel L. Jackson.
Please,
or
if you see
Barry
this.
Brooks. I think he would be perfect. We kind of like based him a little bit off him,
So
but
he's cussing all the time.
why? Yeah, like why?
Well, no.
Why is old man with the golf hat?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you guys have all seen that GIF where it's like Samuel Jackson looking it up online. It's like, does Samuel Jackson watch anime? And he's like, hell yeah, hentai too.
But yeah, that is pretty much the summary of TENPINZ. We are 3 chapters in right now. The 3rd chapter just dropped online digitally. I have chapters 1 and 2 in the one-shot available downstairs at booth 135. We have posters for this series. We also have another series, Soul X Search, that is kind of like our Yu Yu Hakusho inspired manga. Both of these are getting picked up for animated series right now. We're pitching a lot of companies for both of these, and we're gonna get into the animated outro right now. So
Get ready, bro.
get ready. I love everything she does, so here we go.
Hey
volume down. We're gonna launch a Kickstarter at the end of the week for the next 2 chapters. The first volume will be chapters 1 through 5. I really hope you guys like it, and I want to invite you guys up, or we're gonna do some questions first.
Yeah, let's start
So
with
if you guys
questions.
have some questions, we could do some questions, and then after that, I want to see if you guys can bowl a strike. So we'll take questions now if you guys have any questions. Yes.
What inspired you to do a sports anime? A sports manga, actually.
I love sports, big sports fan. I had decided I wanted to do something a little bit different and try to steer away from stereotypes like all the black guys are gonna make basketball mangas and animes. Like there's plenty of people making basketball stuff, so I wanted to do something that kind of spoke to me a little bit and something that I had a real life experience with. So when I bowled when I was younger, this would be like my life if I continued bowling. So that's why I did TENPINZ. Thank you. Yes.
What inspired the sound, like sonically, for the intro and outro? And if there was anime inspiration, what was it?
You know, I'm big on those anime intro and stuff like that. You know, that's stuff that I listen to, video game, OTS, stuff like that. So you know, just real melodic and stuff like that. He actually found the producer. So you know, as soon as I heard the beat, the song just came on my head. So yeah.
I think I see you over here in the back. Yes.
What's your highest bowling score?
My highest bowling score, I think the highest I've ever rolled was a 210. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I can't do that. Yes, right here.
I know I just walked in a little layover, kind of, but I don't know if you guys already talked about it. Can I get like a very quick synopsis?
Yeah, you want to do a synopsis?
So TENPINZ follows Adrian Fisher as he gets kicked off the basketball team and discovers his love of bowling. Through accidentally falling into it, he meets an old man who shows him a mysterious technique called the crane technique. Later on, Adrian goes to a birthday party and shows off the crane technique in front of all his other friends that happen to be bowlers and impresses the hell out of them. So quickly after that, he realizes, wait a minute, I got something here, and he decides to become the best bowler in the world. And there's mystical elements in it where when they throw the ball according to a specific style, you'll get to see the representation. But it's like Demon Slayer in the way that like they're not burning the building down, they're not throwing tsunamis, they're not throwing lightning bolts.
I have you in the back.
Do you think that creating the world for your anime is relatively difficult? I tried doing that in my school in the anime class, and we had to think about the timeline and the people and the futuristic. Like, do you think creating a world for your anime is difficult, or do you think that it's relatively easy once you have the
I think for me, the world building aspect of it is what takes the most time, but I think that's like the legwork that you need to do. Like Dom and I will oftentimes be on Instagram just talking about something. Like if I have an idea, like, okay, if this is where I want the story to go, what am I gonna need to do to get it there? And if you have a good world, like one of the things I said to Dom early on is that you want conflict. Like if you have inherent conflict, your story is gonna tell itself. If you have good characters and good conflict, they're automatically gonna hate each other. Like, you know, let's say we have one character who believes this, and another character who believes the exact opposite, but they're both on the same side of things, that's a problem. But they're gonna have to get over it, right? So I think the other thing is writing worlds that make sense. The biggest part of that to me is just writing a story in a place that you understand and you know. So like, I don't know, if you're trying to write something, writing on dragon back and going through all these caves, that's gonna take more time because you gotta like really think about it. But you know, with bowling and sports, it's something that we've all experienced. Everybody here has gone bowling, right? Yeah. So I think that's a big thing too, is like if you can have something relatable in there or like a piece of it that has some truth in it, it'll make it a lot easier for you to build around it.
Yes. Right.
I just have two questions. I know you're in the works of getting a series done. Is there like a time frame when you think the first episode might air?
As far as time frame, we are still like very early in the stages, so we do not have a time frame just yet, but it's moving. Like we have a lot of things going on at the same time.
sometimes it takes years for stuff to get picked up like fully. Like you can be at the negotiating table with like one of the biggest studios for a long time just to get it all the way through.
I see you have the copy. How much is that?
The copies are downstairs at booth 135 for 15, and we also have the posters as well. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
How would you say your previous manga influences this one?
What was that?
How does your other manga, Soul Extraction, how did that influence this one?
I did Soul Search a little bit more. It was a little bit more personal to my life. Like the main message is to really like find yourself, and I think I kind of kept the same thing for TENPINZ. Like I wanted a message that's like very inspiring and also like being true to yourself. So that's a common theme in both of my books. Any questions? Yes.
I really like the design of some of your female characters, like in that outro. So was it a purposeful choice to make it a co-ed bowling? And if so, like, what's your plan for that?
I don't know if it was purposeful, but we did want the Firefox team to be like the all-girls team, and we kind of wanted them to be like a family.
Real hot girl shit.
The rest of the teams, I think, just kind of ended up like that, like a little bit of a mixture of, these are people I go to school with, these are like kids in the same area that are also doing the same thing. And when I bowled personally, like on my team, it was kind of the same thing. Like we had a couple girls on each team, just people who wanted to bowl and were looking for a team. And it's kind of the same thing in this book. Like one of the girls for the water team decides like, oh, you need a third member? Like I wanna come bowl. So it kind of worked out like that.
And it also, if you look at the last names of a lot of the characters, a lot of them are related. So with that in mind, like I was saying about conflict, like since a lot of these people are cousins, brothers, sisters, you know what I mean? Like there's conflict there. They're gonna get to see some cool stuff.
Yes.
I know in the anime it's gonna talk a lot about bowling, but are there any other topics or issues that you guys are going to talk about in the anime?
So I think one of the big things that we're doing with this is that it's not a story based in racial pain. Like we're not just gonna be like, oh, they're all black and they're gonna get treated like they're racist. You know, like that's not necessarily going to be something that we're gonna bump up against just because we feel like that's been played out. Not to say that there isn't racism in the world and there aren't topics that they're gonna touch on that are gonna be pretty heavy, but like, I feel like that one's been done and let's push past it. So I think one of the big things that I'm actually currently in the process of writing for this next chapter is we are gonna kind of touch a little bit on gender, because with Casey, we're gonna have someone misgender them, and that's gonna be kind of a touchy subject where King Vader's character gets in their face, and my character has to be like, hey bro, they ain't mean it, you learned, right? Yeah, they learned, let's go. So we are still gonna touch on some other topics like that, but this isn't a story to just like feel the black experience of being, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So since you guys aren't like making it all black or something like that, or like touching racial issues, how are you guys gonna make like the character silhouettes stand out, and like what inspires you to do so? To make certain character silhouettes.
Certain character silhouettes, I base a lot of the stuff on real people, so every character in here is really based on a real person. I try to just capture their likeness. Like I said, Adrian is like a little bit based on me. I have characters. We have a character based on Abraham. We have a character based on Taj.
We got every shade of melanin in there.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate them as well, like different types of characters in other shows?
They all kind of really just look how they look in real life. Like it's like how we're all different in real life. That's kind of the differentiating factor that I wanted to incorporate. I wanted it to look like it could be real and not like so dramatic and so over the top that it's like just over everybody's heads. Like I wanted to feel like a real thing that people could connect with. Yes, in the back.
You plan on making a video game with it too soon?
I want to make a video game. I want to make a card game. I want to make fruit snacks.
Oh man, Like the different colors with the
all
oh.
of that. All of that.
Cereal, bro.
Cereal.
I'm eating bowling cereal.
Oh, hey.
Actually, don't give me the soul scratch.
Me? You think I could be a voice actor for it?
I want to do a voice acting challenge very soon. I think maybe tomorrow, I'm gonna have people who want to voice act come to the booth, and we're gonna do some tests. So if you guys want to voice act and you want to really give it a shot, just come to the booth tomorrow.
Read chapter 1 first, though, so you know the material, you know what you're coming up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can read that on Namiwear.com, chapters 1 and 2.
So you can read the book for free at Namiwear.com.
You can also cop it downstairs.
And you can also get it downstairs. But if you have a character that you have in mind and you want to voice act for that person, definitely like let me know. Come to the booth, do a quick audition with me. Like I'm really interested in hearing your guys' voices. Yeah.
So I saw the jersey designs. Are y'all going to be releasing those?
Jerseys coming.
Oh, yeah.
All the merchandise is coming. Like we were supposed to have a little sample this weekend, but
My
it
dude
just
fell through.
It just didn't make it. Yes, in back in the blue. What time tomorrow? I guess as soon as we open
The
up.
booth opens.
Yeah, just come by. Back in Dallas, Jersey.
Do y'all each have a favorite voice actor?
Favorite voice actor? Mine is probably Justin Cook, voice of Yusuke, and who else? Who else do I really like? Zeno, facts. Zeno Robinson, voice of Hawks. Who else?
I feel like I have a weird one. I really like, Regina King.
Regina King.
I worked with her for like 2 seconds on the Hard Day Fall, and I messed up by not asking her to do the voice.
Oh man.
Come on, Gohan!
Y'all know my guy, man. Come on.
You did that real well.
That's my guy.
Any more questions?
That's my guy.
Yes.
One of the big things, like working in the bowling alley is like the bowling alley, like the community of it, like the engineers, everything like that. Are you gonna touch on that? And like the oil that goes.
So we are gonna get a little bit probably into a little bit of the technical side. Like when it comes to bowling, the professionals talk about like lane patterns and like the oil patterns like on the actual lane.
We are gonna get into that. That's a little bit later on.
Yeah, we
But-
did cover like the basic rules, like how to bowl, like in the very first chapter. So it's in there.
Keep your eyes out for hyperfocus, and once hyperfocus becomes more of a constant, that's when the characters will start to see the oil patterns. That's what comes along with that level up. So we're thinking about it, don't you worry.
Yeah, hyperfocus is basically like the Sharingan of this world. Like they tap into that element, they tap into that animal stance, and they gain like real focus and a little bit of a different ability, like to really harness that power. I'm gonna see if I had the Kickstarter up, honestly.
So it's got the picture of the eyes on there, right?
Yeah, it has all the pictures.
But yeah, each element has a different kind of way of tapping into how you do that element. So like with fire, it's set your heart on fire, so you burn up all the rage. Like if you really, really channel that rage, you can throw with the right stance, you'll throw a really good fox fireball.
So
And here we go.
Yeah, here's a couple examples of the hyperfocus. We have the Fox style hyperfocus. This is Solana. This is Adrian's hyperfocus.
You calm your heart with the crane style, that's how you throw a good one.
We have the Bear's Craft hyperfocus.
Centering yourself, grounding yourself,
We have Spider.
burning away your emotions.
We have the Serpent.
And that's basically feeling an emotion all the way out through the electrical impulse of your brain.
So I know people think this is like, oh, it's just a regular bowling like thing, and you guys are like, who's gonna bowl a strike? It's not really that. It's a little bit more. These are what we call the baby dragons in this world. Drippy is the blue one right here. It started as my mascot for Namiwear, but we wanted to incorporate it into TENPINZ. So The dragon theme is kind of where we pulled that from, so you'll see different elemental versions of this. We have the water, the fire, earth, and the wind. These things are basically like spirits that come to them when they're in hyper focus. Almost like you're going into the avatar state, you have like that connection to like past things. This is like that mystical force behind your stance.
The spirit of the stance coming to visit you in that moment and be like, all right, you got this, let's go.
But
And then as they
these-
level up, that's the baby dragon. So then once you see the big form,
Yeah, so these are like the babies right here on this page. That seem like some good stuff. Here's the better King Raider.
the better buzz,
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
right on
guys?
time.
All right, bro, I'm just talking about you right now. I got you on the screen. This is King Raider's character right here, Buzz Barrett. Showing a little bit of the light. King Raider, y'all. We have a couple full color pictures.
Keep
This
the color
is-
on that fit, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, you guys are getting to see like a little bit of the color into this world. It doesn't really do the full justice of seeing it black and white. So I am working on the color version right now. Some more lightning style bowlers right here. Got a little bit of preview, and this was for the first Kickstarter, which didn't really make it. We made it halfway, but we didn't have the book out yet, so I considered that a win. Now
Well,
that
and you
we
can still
have-
message everybody that that's the last one, so.
Now that we have 3 chapters out, we're working on chapter 4. When we drop this Kickstarter, we're expected to probably pass our goal. Volume 1 will be finished, and I am personally coloring the book myself. It's gonna take a long time because I'm slow and I am very particular in how I color this. I wanted to hire someone to do it, but I didn't like how it looked, so I'm gonna color it. I also colored all these other images in here, so it's gonna be really nice, and I hope you guys like it.
Any more questions?
Yeah, any more questions? It's
Do you already know what the Kickstarter tiers are gonna look like for the?
Kickstarter tiers, we are probably thinking about starting off with a digital copy, following like a digital shout out with the book, possibly doing like some merch, like some small merch packages, exclusive posters, exclusive like cover variants for the volume as well, definitely signed, and I think we're gonna do maybe like a video conference type of thing. So I think we're still figuring that out, but it's gonna be a lot of stuff. We're still working on that. Any more questions before we make you get up here and bowl a strike? Oh, we're about, I said if there's any more questions before we get up here, and we're about to bowl. All right, y'all. So if you guys want to bowl, I am going to be giving away the full set, the TENPINZ poster and the book for anyone who can bowl a strike up here today. Just come meet me down at booth 135. If you would like to bowl, please line up over here and we can get started.